Welcome, folks, to a recorded informational session about the Rural Life program, and especially this year of transition that we're currently in. A quick overview: the Rural Life is a grant that focuses on effectiveness. It's a literacy initiative, and it operates in the space between personalized learning and literacy, thinking that literacy instruction is improved through personalized learning. The Rural Life Project is funded by the U.S. Department of Education. We started with a planning year in 2017, and the 5-year project was supposed to include 2 years of a phase 1 schools, and we have completed that. The 36 schools with 9 coaches ended in the spring of 2020. We ended, of course, with COVID already in place. We didn't have the smooth ending that we expected, but we did finish successfully with the first group of 36 schools. And now on August 19th, 2020, we are between the phase 1 and phase 2 schools. Normally, we would have had the transition in the summer. We would have had professional development in May and June. We would have had school plans in place. And because of the change in the situation, things just have not gone smoothly for Rural Life, just as they've been different for school systems. So what we think will help us and help the schools is to get a no-cost extension from the federal Department of Education, and let our 5-year grant become a 6-year grant. And it's called a no-cost extension because it's no cost to the federal government to extend it by another year. And so we will have a 6-year project, and that part's not as important as just knowing what's going to happen in the next 1 year. So what does it mean for Rural Life is that the transition period that would have been a matter of a few months that were supposed to take place and finalized in the summer of 2020, we will now transition over the course of an entire year and give schools and principals some options during that extended transition year. And so what does it mean for all of our Rural Life schools, both our phase 1 and phase 2? It means that we will have more time to understand and adapt to the new normal, or the new different, I guess you could say. And so we also think it will provide flexibility in knowing what the school needs and what the Rural Life resources are. What schools need now in the time of COVID is considerably different than they may need in a normal year. So we also think that besides the flexibility, we'll have a chance to provide some additional professional learning opportunities. And I would like to turn over the speaking role here to Bethany Fillers and ask her to talk about some of our professional learning opportunities.
Thank you, Dr. Kitzmiller. First, we're going to look at the Strong Start initiative. And in essence, it's made up of 2 pieces, if you will. One being a Strong Start learning series, which will be a kickoff for our Strong Start network. Our Strong Start learning series will be available to all 6 through 8 ELA teachers across the region. And the intention of this Strong Start learning series is to promote starting strong with the newly adopted ELA materials that teachers are implementing this year. Specifically, we will connect key learning from the series to concrete examples from districts' adopted materials and allow participants to engage within that learning with their materials through collaboration, reflection, and some concrete planning with each other. As noted, the Strong Start Learning Series is kind of a kickoff or a precursor to the Strong Start Network. Now, the Strong Start Network was formerly known as the Network of Champions, but given some reassessment, we have shifted the name to the Strong Start Network. It is now available not only to phase 1 schools, but also phase 2 schools. to all 67 schools in rural life, and this will be by a competitive application. It provides participants with a community of support, specifically focused on learning and implementing those newly adopted ELA materials. And it establishes really a community of lead learners from across the region. And that could be made up of teachers, administrators, instructional coaches, district office staff, with a focus on improving student outcomes in the middle school literacy classroom. And as you note here, our partnership for the Strong Start Network and for the Strong Start Learning Series is TNTP. And so we are thrilled to offer both of those as a part of Rural Life. Also, you may have heard or even been a part of already the Niswonger Remote Learning Series. It is available to all teachers K-12 from across the region. It kicked off last week on August 11th, and sessions are occurring every Tuesday and Thursday, starting at 3:45, and those will continue until October 1st. And the Niswonger Remote Learning Series provides just-in-time professional learning and really helps teachers explore a variety of tools and resources that they can immediately put into practice as they're building and facilitating rich remote and/or digital learning environments for students. And also it offers teachers an opportunity just to network with each other, right? Those who are facing some of the same challenges they are, share ideas, resources, and again, be of support during this time.
So what does it mean in more particular, what does this year of transition mean for our phase one schools? Okay, what has not changed is that we are continuing to offer sustainability grants for schools that have a plan for continuing their 2 years of work. We have a process by which you can ask for sustainability grants. We have extended and made a little more flexible the deadlines on that. So as needs come up, we would entertain the idea of sustainability grants. What is also still true for phase one schools is that we now have some structured professional learning that is evolving and becoming stronger. Bethany just mentioned the Strong Start Network. Once following the Strong Start Learning Series webinars, that will be the introduction, there will be the Strong Start Network. And as Bethany said, it is for individuals or groups, and it is competitive, and there will be a selection, and because there's extra work, there will be some extra recognition and some stipends involved for the folks that are chosen, but it will focus on getting a strong start to our rollout of the newly adopted ELA materials. We also just mentioned the remote learning series that is in place now. We also had a series of virtual Summer Institute sessions that were 1-hour webinars through the summer, and we'll have the Strong Start learning series that will be announced soon. We also are opening up to see how it will work. There may be an opportunity for folks who have teachers who are teaching remotely. Even some of our most seasoned and our best teachers are struggling with teaching when the students and the teachers are not in the same room. So on a request basis, if a principal or a superintendent or a supervisor says we have a teacher or several teachers who would like help in planning or executing remote learning, we would welcome phase one schools to approach us to see how our coaches could help in this new environment. For phase two schools, the biggest thing that the extension year will be is that the schools can choose when to participate. Several of our schools are ready to start now. They're submitting their school plans. We're working through that and deciding how the lead teacher will be used, how the coach will be used, and what resources are needed. Others, however, may want to wait and see how the situation with the remote versus in-person schools, how that plays out, and might want to wait a little bit and do something during the school year. And then others may say, this is such a different year, we'd like to wait till spring or summer and then start our support as a phase 2 school. Another element of flexibility is that the plan does not have to be submitted in completion. It is possible to complete plan, but it's also possible to submit a partial plan. And so you could just talk about how you want to use the lead teacher and the coach, and then maybe wait on the expenditures for later when you see what kinds of things you need to purchase with the funding resources. You could ask for some funding now and wait and use some of the funds later, request some of the funds later. And similarly, we still have the structured professional network that is now open to both phase 1 and phase 2 schools, and the webinars that are open to both. And in case we didn't mention it, both all the webinar sessions, the Virtual Summer Institute, the remote learning series that's now, and the Strong Start will be an option for live viewing, but also will be recorded. And you can find any of this information just by going to the Rural Life site. You can start at the Niswonger Foundation homepage and find out any information or any recordings of these. And so, again, also phase 2 schools may want to talk to us about some coaching for their, that's sort of outside the school plan, but maybe some coaching support for teachers that are teaching remotely and maybe looking for some options there. So we hope that we answered most of the big questions, but we understand that if there are 31 different schools and 35 treatment schools from the original group, there may be additional questions. So if you have questions, contact your coach. The coaches' names, our current coaches' names are here. So if one of these coaches was assigned to you or is assigned to you, start with the coach. But if not, or if you have a different type of question, you're welcome to talk to any of the Rural Life staff. So our contact information is here, and we would love to hear from you. And we look forward to finding out how your plans are evolving, what we can do to help you. And even if your choice is to wait a while and exercise your flexibility, we would like to know what you're thinking, and maybe especially if you want to wait till the spring, we would like to sort of know that officially and see if there's some unofficial ways we can help you a little bit later. So thank you for all that you're doing for the kids in the Northeast Tennessee, and thank you for what your support of the Rural Life Project. And we hope that this flexibility will be a service to you instead of being a burden for you. So we hope to talk to you soon, and have a great year.